We had to be woken up by a bell, 6 o'clock. Get up, go to the toilet first and make your beds, and if you didn't make it right, well, they'll come along and rip the sheets off or whatever, the blankets off, and you had to redo it.
The staff were called nurses, but they weren't qualified nurses. They were, carers. I don't know what training they would have had, but there were various ones that their idea of getting kids under control was to, slap them really hard across the face.
Our first lesson was catechism. Oh, I hated it. Anyone tells me about the Bible, I'll tell them from the inside out. That's how brainwashed we was with it.
I don't know what it was called, but I do know there was one in Western Australia, and they actually had the children who come from England to actually build the institution even.
They discovered that I had a broken hand and fingers from the people that fostered me out. That meant that I was walking around with a broken hand and fingers for about a week and a half before they noticed it, because I was too petrified to sort of say anything, because I thought I would get in trouble or get the cane.
Being in the mission, they used to, if you were naughty, they would with their knuckles on the head and knock ding 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 like that. Punishment, sometimes if they ran away, they would shave them fellas, the boys' hair, the hair off their heads. If you were late for breakfast or something, you were given dry bread and stand in a corner, but facing the wall.
The whole trauma followed me into my teenage years, because I also believe I was abused in there. I have strange feelings of, I always can feel a hand on my knee.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that it's pretty hard to talk about, because, it just brings out a lot of anger and that. As far as I'm concerned, at least one into every 3 staff was potentially a pedophile.
After school, there's a routine where you came home from school, reported to the office, went down the passage, took your shoes off, lined them up for cleaning, went down, got your towel and everything, and straight lined up for a bath. So there was a lot of sexual abuse and mistreatment in the bath times.
I do remember having a full cake of soap pushed into my little mouth for repeating some of the I didn't know they were sexual words, but obviously sexual words that the foster father had said to me, and I repeated them not knowing what they actually meant. So then the foster mother had to shut me up.
Every Saturday, it was on your hands and knees, and you would have to polish that floor with your hands and polish it on your hands and knees. And it was quite big, quite big.
You'd be allocated either to doing all the hundreds of dishes, or allocated to cleaning all the shoes, or, everyone had jobs to do.
The only time I ever seen my mother, which I didn't even know was my mother till, later on, I suppose, and that, she was allowed to come once a month for 1 hour in a glass room next to the matron's office. I now think, after reading my files, probably because she wanted to take us with her, I think.
Our clothing was marked with our numbers. We're known by numbers also. I think I was 41, and so my towel was 41, my uniform was 41, your underwear was 41, everything of mine was 41, and someone else had another number. So we were mainly communicated by the nuns and that, by numbers and the bell.
And there was a what they called the wardrobe women in the bottom in the basement of what used to be the old Etzer building in Rundle Street. You go there if you're getting fitted out to be sent to a foster home, and that's where you'd find out what happened to your brothers and sisters. Otherwise, you didn't know where they were, you know.
When I was in the little boys' area, there was a dog kennel next to it, and they had 2 dogs there, and I used to always go around there and pat them and stuff like that. It was my safe place to be because I didn't like people. I got chased into the kennels by this other kid and that. They just growled at the other kid because the other kid was coming in, wanted to have a go at me. A couple of weeks later, the dogs were taken away and that. To a young kid being taken away from your family and then having your new friends taken away from you. Is hard on a little kid.
Remember me now.